Tri-Brigade here. Blake got a new deck profile, just a pure Tri-Brigade. So, you know, you probably like, why does this guy always sitting down at the beginning of this video? Because I'm the only person recording. So yeah, let's get to the profile. It's a pure list. I'm gonna get the extra side deck. I forgot the side deck. So yeah, Zeus is not in this build. You can put Zeus in the side, but I feel like then you still technically playing like Tri-Brigade Zoo. So I wanted to do a pure list, just without the Zoo. So we're gonna start off with the starter, which is your Rescue Cat. This card is good because it's a pseudo fractal. Fractal put beast, wing beast, beast warriors, BBWs in your grave. And this card does the same thing because he's a beast. He tripled himself, so that's 1. And then you summon out 2, Karaz and Kit. And you link them off into Fair Jit, which gives you 3 engraved with a Fair Jit that summons, that's properly summoned. So you can summon back off Revolt. Also, you can, if your opponent try to ash this, you can always hit them with the Gamma because it tributes yourself a cost. And another thing is Kit gets this effect when it's sent to grave, even though the Rescue Cat negates the field effect of the Tri-Brigades, but when you link him to Fair Jit, you can pitch Nerval to search a Tri-Brigade, and your Fair Jit just summons it out, so you still have combo just off Rescue Cat by itself. So that's why I think Rescue Cat's pretty busted. Plus with the Gamma stuff, you can make some real busted stuff. And Tri-Brigade is pretty busted for what it does, but if you add a Mega ripping card from your opponent's hand, it's kind of overpowered. Just for punishing your opponent from using a card from their hand anyway. So Fractal, you could Gamma when you use this card from hand or field. This card is busted, so you can normal summon, use this effect, send itself from the field. This is the card you don't want to just turbo out. You want to use this mid-game instead of just using it on your first turn, because this is how you get hurt. People ash this card, and then it's the only warrior beast you got engraved. You got the 3 cat. So in this build, you probably would have to play the max number of Tri-Brigades, since this is the pure build. And really none of the Tri-Brigade monsters are bad monsters. So yeah, 3 kit, you summon this off of Rescue Cat. This is the card that allows you to enable your play with Rescue Cat, because when it's linked off to Fair Jit, it pitches Nerval for you to search one. So yeah. And if you don't know, that's what, 4 right there, because you have Kit, Nerval, Rescue Cat, and whatever you search. That's 4 beasts right there that you can use for a live revolt. So yeah, 3 Kit, Karaz. This card is really needed at 3 in this build because you play Rescue Cat, so you always go through 1 Karaz when you don't use this effect. So technically you only plan 2 Karaz, because the one you summon off Rescue Cat, you can't use this effect unless you're gonna so a lot of times I would summon it off Rescue Cat, link it off, and on my next turn I would on my turn I would try to either summon Silver Sheller before I end my turn, and Silver Sheller add the Karaz back to my hand. So yeah, Karaz is the best one. If you don't have Fractal, or you feel like you don't need Fractal, always go for Karaz. He's the free extended play. And you can discard Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior extra ones in your hand. So yeah, Nerval's at 3, needed. You only really go through 2 of them, especially with the Revolt, before your opponent probably concedes. So yeah, 3 Nerval. Max out all Tri-Brigade names. As far as the monsters, for the 2 non-Tri-Brigades, you play Mist Valley Apion, which is off the Samoric. Samoric is the best link in the deck. You can summon out Nerval for a follow-up play. Your Nerval cannot be targeted. You summon out Shiraz underneath them. Shiraz can't be targeted. You can summon Apex Avian underneath them. Now your Apex Avian cannot be targeted, so it pretty much kills impermanence. And your opponent definitely need an Ash if they're gonna try to stop your Shamoric link. So definitely put those back in there. I rarely ever summons the wind barrier statue, but you definitely can because you have wind links in your extra deck you can use to link them off with. So for hand traps now, my hand trap lineup is 3 Imperm, either for the mirror match, so I can actually hit the Tri-Brigade names, or it's just for cards on the field, any monster on the field that can be targeted. Because Imperm and Ash Blossom pretty much can hit almost any deck, because people need to put monsters on the field to play, and then people need to access their deck when they play the game. So Imperm and the Ash Blossom, the main powerhouses for your hand traps. And these are not like bad hand traps. It's just they not strong as something like Nibiru, which could probably which can pretty much get rid of full boards. These cards don't get rid of full boards. It just hinder your opponent from making a full play, where it's good enough where you can play and out-resource your opponent. So yeah, 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, 3 Crows, because this card goes so well with the Tri-Brigades. It's a winged beast, dark hand trap that completely get rid of the problem in the graveyard. So you don't even have to worry about it. Just hit it, or hit another card that you know they need to play or for their grind games, and you pretty much seal the game, because Crow's that good. For Gamma, for your Rescue Cats and your Fractal, so you have so many cards, like Pot of Desires, Fire Formation Techie, Fractal Effect from Hand, Rescue Cat. You have so many ways you could proc your Gamma in this deck. So you might as well play Cypher and Gamma. So I got like a decent number of hand traps that could stop my opponent, or from when I'm going second, when I try to make a play, my opponent tried to negate with one and negate it, I could just hit him with Gamma. So yeah, that's it for the hand traps. A lot of hand traps. For the spells, play the tankies. One of my friends I know was cutting this down to 2 because you only search Fractal in this deck, but I want all gas, no brakes. So yeah, Tanky is a great card. A really great card. Besides, you can always put your Fractal back into the deck with Fair Jade effect or the Bear Bloom effect, which make these cards still loud. So even though you probably pitch 2 of your Fractals, you still have a Fractal that you can always put back, which is pretty busted if you think about it. Because your Silver Shell could also add it back to your hand, so you can put it back from graveyard. So Tanky, I think, is always live. It's a bait card too. You can try to use it to bait Ash. Your opponent probably think you playing Zoo or gonna go into a Zoo. They try to hit this card for Ash, so you won't get those Zoos. Pot of Desires, only play 2 because I don't want to risk drawing another Pot of Desires. Sometimes you do draw Pot of Desires off Pot of Desires, which is rare though. It's even more rare when you only play 2, but it's more frequent when you play 3 Pot of Desires. So I feel like 2 is good enough. It's a hard one per turn anyway. So if my opponent negated, if I open double pot, I might use this card first. My opponent can negate it with an Omni Negate. Just pray they don't use Ash. Now, but one back row move just for Tri-Brigades with their revolts, or you want to force those out early in the turn. Also, Mystic Mine. I think Mystic Mine is going to be coming back with Sky Striker, so I feel like at least some type of back row removal. We already got Shirag, the Omnis, the Banish card. Might as well keep a Twin Twister close and handy, just in case. Call Battlegrave. This could be your second Twin Twister. I cut Twin Twisters for this card just so I could keep my monsters alive. Even though if you play in the mirror match, you would definitely cut this card out for like back row removal. And another card I wanted to put in here is that Samora Link. Not Samora Link, but the one that Samora's archetype was based off of, the Dark Samora one. That says you can't set no cards. I will play that in the anti-spell. That way I go first, set anti-spell, make Samora summon out the Dark Samora, and then I flip up anti-spell on the standby phase. Now you can't play no spells because you can't set your spells. So yeah. I was thinking about throwing that in there too. So I probably might throw it in my side deck. Or I might take the spell off for it. I don't know. I'm throwing my side definitely because anti-spell's in the side. Then you got Revolt, the best card in the deck. This card just says hard reset for the deck. You just bring all your banished ones back to the graveyard so you can reset your whole deck to do the same plays all over again. And this card makes Potter Avarice live too, because it takes your banished cards and put them back in the graveyard so you can put your links back. But I realized that I didn't want to really do that because it makes Access Code Talker that much better, because you could pop Access Code Talker for 4 with this deck easily. And then if your Access Code survives, you still could pop for probably 3, because that's how many different attribute link monsters you be having in your graveyard. So yeah, Revolt. For the extra, I played the Omega. This card rip cards from hand. It put link monsters back that's in the graveyard back to the extra deck, just in case you need to properly summon one of them or something like that. And then a free material if your opponent stops you, so you can go into Appaloosa for 4 or 3. For the Link 4s, I play Access Code and Appaloosas. This is not the Charade. I do play Charade. This is probably 14 cards. If I remember straight, this is 14 card extra. So it will be a 3rd Charade in here. That's why they showed the Charade right there. But yeah, these are the non-Tri-Brigade links and cards you play. So these are your win monster right here. Boom, Boom, and Appaloosa's a win one. This guy's a win. So you got a decent number of wind monsters to summon when you got the wind barrier statue on the field. And you can use this guy to out your wind barrier statue. So you can't link it to him with the wind barrier statue, but you can use it to out it. But you can link with this and this into it. And Appaloosa, obviously. So yeah. Samoric is busted, can't be targeted. It also helps generational engine since Nerval's a winged beast. Win as well. You can summon him all like say for instance on your end phase you summon the barrier statue, then your opponent, you can't do your revolt. Well, you probably can, don't get me wrong. Let me see. No, can't revolt because none of your links are win. But you can't revolt, it don't matter, but the wind barrier statue gonna stop your opponent for special summoning. But your end phase of their turn, use your some more to summon back Nerval because it's a wind monster. That way you can make either this guy, which is the Doom Eagle, or you can make the what's his name, Double Dragon Lords, or you can link them off until this to Lambda. So it's plenty of ways to get rid of it. So yeah. Nerval off of this card is busted because that means you guarantee the Tri-Brigade monster every turn. For the next cards, I'm going too slow. Double Dragon Lords, Summon Great Amirage because it protects your cards from destruction. This card helps get rid of links and also it keep coming back. So if your opponent have a deck that summon or spam a lot of tokens, level 1 tokens like that, you can just out them with the Link Rebo. Busted, quick effect in the graveyard. So I feel like it was definitely worthy of it. And it's good for Nerval as well. Put you a monster on field that's gonna have some actual attack and stop your opponent from attacking with a monster at least, which is way better than what Amirage does. And you got the Silver Sheller for the Tri-Brigades. You got 1 of the Bear Blooms. I played 2 of this, but you can cut this, and you could cut the 3rd Charade that I wanted to play. Because I only got 2 Charades. You cut the 3rd Charade that I wanted to play for the Sentry XZ monster. Can't be struck by battle, I think. And then it attacks, you summon Zeus right on top of it. Make your, 3 to 4 material Zeus. Pretty busted. Because you can use Downer Musician or something with it to give it an extra material. So yeah, you can still play Zeus in this deck. It's not hard. But I don't think it's worth to play Zeus because so many people playing cards that either bounce or pop. Even though they just hit Dragon, still people gonna be playing cards that bounce or pop cards. Like in the Tri-Brigade match, they gonna summon Double Dragon Lords. That's like the first card that they summon. That's probably not a Tri-Brigade or Appaloosa. It's between one of the two. And Appaloosa and the Double Dragon Lords too much for a for material Zeus because Appaloosa's gonna have at least 2 negates. So that means that Appaloosa can negate both Zeus effects. So yeah. We need the anti-spill. I'll probably throw some more card in here. Lancia, this card could come out. I'm pretty certain that I could take this card out. You don't need it because you want to banish on your opponent's turn anyway. So you don't want to hinder that. You need your order. So don't even look at these. I'm probably taking those out. Your other twin, your other anti-spell, the alpha. There can only be one. So taking out the Lancia, I could bump this card up to 1. Put in evenly matches. Got Phantasma as alphas. But I think the alphas gonna probably end up being the Beerus. But I do like alpha because it goes with the deck. So probably, if anything, I will probably take these out. And then just leave these at 2/2. And these could be 2 nib and 2, actually I can take 1 alpha out too and make these evenly matches. So you have double alpha with evenly matches. So you have going second cards, board breaking cards. So yeah. Lancia, you don't need it because you want to summon Shirag on your opponent's turn and you want to wait till they commit. So by the time you Lancia, you probably gonna Lancia them before then, which make your Shirag dead, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's the list I got for my pure Tri-Brigade so far. I couldn't figure out anything else, but you guys let me know in the comments what you like and what you would like to see.